Erica Lorraine Spencer here. This is the P.O.C. pattern of conduct, the ongoing real-time documentation of what is the criminal pattern of conduct of federal stalking in violation of 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A subsection 1 and subsection 2. This is the pattern of conduct underway by a public entity, that is the state of California, that is engaging in federal stalking in concert with the people of the state of California. So this is group conduct. And this is the practicing of what are the criminal elements of monitoring amongst what is the demon possessed. And so this is what is documentation of terrorism as it is underway by a public entity in concert with the people of the state who are in the shoes of the government as this criminal system is in ceaseless operation. And as the state engages in this demented group conduct, this is revealing how the public entity, that is the state of California, that is in the United States of America, how terrorism of an American citizen plays out, what that looks like, how that is facilitated amongst a people, amongst a government, how it is public corruption in plain sight, and not only that, how you formulate policy and how you prosecute that which is demonic conduct, it's demonic activity, but that which is in no way impervious to prosecution in federal court, and being subject to ratification into federal policy. This is the P.O.C. 7RSS113, 6P01432, 6X15928, 6RBY247. They are all monitoring with the people. This is the people under the fake sun that's advanced well beyond the Ovid Family Community Library, AEFD866. That is over at Vine and Holt Boulevard. It's 8:06 a.m. 6ADG221, where, by the way, the state in the evening, as I'm showing you at 4:28 p.m., where the state is aiming light on the city hall as though that is the sun setting. I want to be clear, what I'm showing you at 8 o'clock in the morning, well, the fake sun is over what is the Stater Brothers. This is where the state is feigning like the state is sun. It's in the same position. 8VBP246. The state is stalking with the light source, keeping it over my head inside of the parking lot of the Ontario Village Shopping Center at 8 o'clock in the morning. And then following to remain over me at the Ovid Family Community Library, and then feigning like the sun is setting westward toward that same location that I showed you where it's at 8 o'clock in the morning. All right, that's stalking with light. And that is the asininity that the state is engaged in while it's stalking with a light source. And you're talking about keeping it in perfect alignment with me at the Ontario Plaza at 4:27 p.m. as I showed you on that day where I'm at the Ontario Plaza that's off of Mountain Avenue. And the state, as the state follows westward, let me get this license, 7XFT790. As I'm showing you, as I leave from the Ontario Ovid Family Community Library on November 28th, as I'm exiting at 4 p.m., and the state, after filling that venue with what is directed light and not sunlight, inside and outside, all right, multiple methods of directed light while the entity is stalking in the bathroom. You have what is the state engaging in keeping that fake sun as we go west on Holt Boulevard and north on Mountain Avenue, and it is in perfect alignment with me in the parking lot. And so the state is positing that that's sunlight. But you have, while I remain at the Ontario Ovid Family Community Library, the state is aiming what's supposed to be sunlight. It's directed light on the city hall. And that's not light that's going to result. And that's exactly what I'm pointing out in that video. And at 8 o'clock in the morning, when you are already westward of that location of the Ovid Family Community Library, the 280 North Lemon Apartments, and then the state is aiming directed light on that same city hall. And that's what I said is the pattern of feigning like the sun is setting, the fake sun is setting, aiming light onto the exact same location, in conflict with, by the way, as I'm showing. All right, documenting directed light inside of the venue of Stater Brothers, and it is 8:19 a.m. Directed light on the ground in front of the Stater Brothers, underneath the shaded structure, and that light is dynamic. This is the same patch of directed light that the state has placed over me while I'm inside of the bathroom. That is documented, that's prosecuted as what is a sexually violent threat, and you're witnessing what is that intrusion into that documentation that's prosecuting her as well, Tracy Banks, inside of that venue under the same exact directed light and under the same fake sun, inside of what is 646 West Holt Boulevard. That's a direct threat to my life, and you see that indifference, you see that hostility, that ongoing harassment that's going toward that same conduct that I'm documenting on video while the state is over me in a helicopter in her car. It is currently 8:20 a.m. and this is the state's fake sun, and that is directed light inside and outside of the venue of Stater Brothers, documenting what is federal stalking by an entity inside of the private space that also sounded sirens, as I spoke to in that video, as I'm walking through the hallway of that restroom. That is tracking steps. That is knowledge of who I am, by the way, while you are looking at that engineered light. That is identification of a venue, stalking on behalf of the state. All right, that impossible light activity is speaking to knowledge of who I am, where I am, and what I am doing. And you have no First Amendment constitutional rights. You're not present in your own capacity. You are cloaked in the status as a state, and you are indeed stalking in that and engaging in what is demonic conduct. That's terrorism. All right, it's 8:21 a.m. That's the P.O.C. and the state's fake sun then engages in advancing to go east to remain over me until I go to the Ovid Family Community Library. And you see the documentation, as I've already shown, remaining for the duration of the day. And I'm showing you what is stalking with the light through and through, where the state is engaging as its fake sun is then setting as it's coming toward the same direction that it already is right now at 8 o'clock in the morning. All right, down, by the way, on the same street and aiming light onto the exact same location. All right, that's called stalking with light, and it's demonic. 6VGG804, and it's speaking to the demon possession of everyone that is in relevant position. 8KHI 538, 7VEZ 515. T389M2. Rider, loitering in relevant position on the side of the state facilitating venue, the United States Post Office at 123 West Holt Boulevard. Let me make sure I read this right. 7VFZ 515. All right, the state's fake sun is now over the 150 East Holt Boulevard, 8VEX 108. And that is advancing east to maintain alignment with me, and while I'm in this vehicle. All right, that's identification of who I am, knowledge of who I am. That's what the ongoing documentation is revealing, a stalker. All right, and it is a stalker that's acting on behalf of the state that's operating this satanic monitoring system. It is currently 8:22 a.m. And that is the state's fake sun keeping alignment with me from 630 North Fern, where the state is stalking and the people are stalking from nightfall until day. Directed light all night, directed light while I am getting up, where the entity is stalking, where it knows that I'm sleeping. And that is facilitated by the third party. What is this? By the third party whose vehicle I'm in. This is mine. That's mine. All right, it is 8:23 a.m. And that is P.O.C. That's documentation. That's a prosecution of what are psychopaths. This is a demonic system, and they are demon possessed. And you're talking about capturing that demonic environment that is absolutely impossible to naturally occur while they're engaged in criminal conduct. Tracy Banks molesting with directed light, license 4WON 432, license plate 6YJL 406. Omnitrans going westbound, directed light just moving across the street while those demons go eastbound. 6BEB985, but I can't really see that one. I'm sorry, while those demons go westbound. Tracy Banks went eastbound and molests with impossible light activity, directed light. All right, there is no difference with regard to the identification of demon possession. All right, you're talking about demons whose name I know, demons whose name I don't know, demons who are present inside of a venue where they are stalking in that same exact demonic environment. And you're talking about demons who are identified by any company or commercial brand whereby they are participating in this demonic system. That is criminal. All right, license plate 8GWC282. 8VZE991, 7EZR037, 7XET790, 8RNY344, 8PZA592, 37463V2, 4RNE331, 86586W2. And I want to point out some additional analysis. Understand the presence of that directed light is speaking to what is sexual violence. The pattern of conduct is that which is ongoing while you are physically indisposed, while your genitalia is exposed, while you are engaged in any private activity. Inside of any public establishment where there is a bathroom, a restroom, that is a private space. These demons, this criminal, the state acting vicariously, 7BLY134, 7C23111, 7MUW103, by virtue of admitting what is demon possession in that demonic environment, 82589X2, which is exactly what the directed light is revealing. It's the identification of the demon possessed. It is revealing what is a stalker, okay? Because that impossible occurrence is a unique signature. And that is what is shared regardless of the fact that the Ontario Police Department is a demon that is cloaked in that status as law enforcement versus Tracy Banks, who was cloaked as a third party. 8BWL 279, and the Ontario Police Department is group stalking on Hope Boulevard right now, engaging, and by the way, and monitoring me while my panties are down, while I am physically indisposed, genitalia exposed, while the state is sounding sirens, while I'm walking in that hallway of that restroom, and what is directed light manifesting on the ceiling inside of that Stater Brothers. That is speaking to what is that corporal invasion of privacy by an entity, all right, doing so under what is the fake sun that is already westward of the Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library. And then in the evening, the state is providing documentation of what is a fake sun that is not setting. The state is changing the color and moving it toward that west direction where it is already captured, having been at 8 o'clock in the morning. And that is documentation of remaining over one street, by the way, with a fake sun and directed light for the duration of the day. Okay, that's not the sun, and that's common sense. And also that doesn't coexist with remaining over me in the city of Upland and the city of Fontana. 8LAG104. So there's nothing to be fascinated by on YouTube when they're looking at and trying to slice apart video documentation of as to the fake sun as I'm capturing it, because the documentation had already shown you that that's not the sun. 8ZBB733, 8EBK837, that's what that is. License plate, Omnitrans. Let me get this one though. 7GID109, and Omnitrans is 1370395, bus number 1324, route 61. 8JJS963, reaching across the road in order to touch with impossible light activity under the fake sun. That's a sex offender, Omnitrans. 8FAM361, acting on behalf of the entire entity. License 8WUS342, and let me connect some dots for you. Directed light is then not occurring on the sidewalk of the bus stop where I'm sitting at the bus bench, because Omnitrans is stalking and molesting me here. It's targeted, and it's an identification of a demon-possessed stalker who knows exactly who I am. That impossible light activity is also not occurring while Omnitrans drives by the S.I.I.S liquor store in the shade. Omnitrans is stalking, and a demon-possessed stalker knows exactly who I am and is targeting with the state. That is an admission of a stalker. That is the identification of a demon-possessed one who was a violent sex offender and is targeting with that which is unnaturally and impossible to occur. And that is the directed light while they are driving past, which is called crossing path. You're stalking with the state. And that is why that directed light is occurring right here on the side of 150 East Holt while they cross path, and not occurring, as I showed yesterday, while they are driving by the S.I.I.S liquor, while they're driving by me on the sidewalk. That's where it occurs, right where I am, okay? And under no circumstances is the directed light ever naturally occurring, okay? And that is the identification of what is a demon-possessed stalker. And this is what the people are doing on a constant basis. It's the pattern of conduct as I've revealed it. And I'm showing you what are demons who are stalking on behalf of the government. And that is the identification of that. And that is showing what is inside of a venue. You are present on behalf of the state, and that is why you are not present as Stater Brothers Markets. You are present as a facilitating venue, a third-party facilitating venue that is a sex offender facilitating sexual violence. 7VBP019 knows exactly who I am. That's what directed light tells you. That's what the fake sun tells you. Knows exactly where I am, what I am doing as I am doing it. Because you're talking about what is demon possession, and the demon possessed are engaged in criminal conduct where they're monitoring with communication devices, going to the extent of stalking you inside of the bathroom when they already know what you're doing. 6UFB052. License 195, it says 1959 on an old car. 8BTC039, BN 97597. And by the way, that was the Ontario Police, the demon-possessed agency driving Western Hope Boulevard, 8WZT227, under the fake sun that is over me right here at 150 East Holt. All right, demon-possessed stalker maintaining flashing lights, hazards over right on a Hope Boulevard at the Rio Money Transfer. At 100 Euclid Avenue, they're maintaining light activity. 5JLP572, that's a demon stalking with light. 4TPS360, that is the identification of a venue as well. This is how the demon-possessed stalk in the path with light. License plate 7NAK560, Student Transportation of America, a demon that knows exactly who I am. That's why you have directed light streaming across the road while that demon-possessed stalker driving a school bus, speaking to what the demon-possessed are to be snatched out of such positions, posing that threat to children, whether those children are demon-possessed or not. You're talking about the exposure of that ongoing delinquency, sexual violence, and training little demons to engage in criminal conduct on behalf of the state. 7JJX227. And you're talking about the vicious sex offender that are the people of the state that are demon-possessed. 7FPW874. You're talking about the threat to the life posed to those who are underage, while the state of California, the demon-possessed, that entity, the people of the state of California are engaging in this system, stalking and terrorizing American citizens by law enforcement, by helicopters, by commercial airline planes, by their ongoing sexual violence while they stalk someone, and molesting their person while they are stalking them, engaging in that terrorism, all right? That is the threat waged to such vulnerable populations while they're stalking an American citizen driving by in a school bus. 8TBR971, that's a identification of the exact same pattern of conduct while you're on a school bus, the same demon-possessed entity. 00033X1 43118, handicap. 6364, I can't see the rest of that one. It is currently 8:31 a.m. And City of Ontario with flashing lights on a dumpster truck. Let me be clear, it's the same exact demon stalking with light using a municipality vehicle. All right, it is currently 8:31 a.m. in crossing path under the fake sun, engaging in the same conduct with what is directed light, while you are using a vehicle that has the ability to create that light activity. That is the same exact P.O.C. Okay, license plate 8JTJ834 37874N1. 86300Y1, 8UAU806. 6P93476, 7FZG, I can't say that one. This is INERSYS, whatever that is, ENERSYS, 90030M1. Student Transportation of America, another demon going westbound on Hope Boulevard, 8K83134. License BX216, handicap. 6MIT028. BJZB216. And it is 8:32 a.m. That is documentation, by the way, where the state's fake sun is at this time of the morning. And that is indeed what it is referred to as. And that is as pathetic as this entity is, as unsophisticated as it is. And it's revealing not just that, it's revealing what is an obsessive stalking pattern. All right, that's a level of obsession. And license plate 8SMH798. And that level of obsession is referred to as terrorism while it is demonstrated by government, okay? And by people of the state, which is an unprecedented level of a demon-possessed gang, if you will, 8AXZ318, who are violent sex offenders together, kidnappers together, thieves together, stalkers together, okay? It is 8:33 a.m. Let me get this license plate. 6TMM611. Um, 7DKV894, 4PGS702. XU664, and it is currently 8:33 a.m. Seven WWH827, 8YJZ250, excuse me. 8VRD712, 8UQJ341, 6PNW518, 4YRN404. This is 1958 crossing path again. Got the license plate. It's an old vehicle. 8XXN272, and all it has is 1959. I'm sorry, on the back license plate. 7XNH648. 6UUM665. 8TJK752. It's 8:34 a.m. Alrighty, documenting what is ongoing stalking with light, showing you what is the admission of the entity. Contrary to its stalking pattern of conduct, thinking that it is impossible to ever prosecute an entity that is a government that is hiding behind the people, first of all, and then to be able to not only identify that, but prosecute people that are stalking on behalf of a government based on pure numerosity. All right, and that's not what you're basing it on. First of all, you're not individualizing 25086B1, I believe. I can't really see that one, but that's Puritan Bakery. And going to the venue of what is Andy's Burgers. There is no form. They're stalking in the path, indirected light, and under the fake sun, which, as I'm showing in my video that I just captured at that same intersection of Enrique's income tax, where I'm showing you that overweight third-party group stalking demon that was clipping flowers while she was stalking, maintaining deliberate positioning on the sidewalk as I was walking south on Plum after having come from the Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library on November 26th. This is the day after Thanksgiving, where the library was closed, and I remained at the B&G Plaza until after 11 a.m. and I did that on purpose because then the next day I show you as I go to that library at an earlier time, and you're looking at what is the movement of that fake sun, an absolute departure, show an ongoing example of what is not the sun, 8XDT281, 94150Y2, 8YFC345, my point being, I'm showing in video while I'm standing at this same intersection, just so that you understand where I'm at, Enrique's income tax, where I have shown, as of late, UPS flying directly over me, over that corner, where you're also looking at the fake sun, and this is in the morning, this is in the afternoon, that same intersection, and you're looking at what is not the sun over my head. So perhaps you need to look at my documentation that is already published, because this is understanding what is stalking with light. The actual sun is not remaining on the block of Plum and Hope Boulevard from 8 a.m. until after 1 p.m., 2 p.m. in the afternoon, remaining at that location after going east and west on Hope Boulevard from the Stater Brothers parking lot back to B&G Plaza parking lot, and then remaining over me as I go to the Ovitt Family Community Library back to the B&G Plaza. That is not the sun. That is not the conduct of the sun. That is also including what is documentation of stalking with what is directed light, engineered light, absolutely impossible light activity, the admission of the demon-possessed, the people of the state who are monitoring, many of them to be deported, 6AAA647. And I hope that old biddy's not an American citizen. I happily ship those demons out of the country. License plate, we don't need them. 8GNT115, like Omnitrends, you don't need it. It's a demon-possessed, crucial with regard to understanding these companies that are doing harm, and that includes Omnitrends, and I have specifically documented it. Those companies heavily documented engaging in the sexually violent and terrorizing pattern of conduct, and then you're talking about they engage in it routinely with knowledge of the fact that they're being documented based on the nature of the crime and the nature of their condition, demon possession. All right, you're talking about speaking to what is the prosecution, and then you're going to color all of that conduct in, what they knew while they were also doing it, what the intent was as they were doing it. All right, what is the pattern? Reveal about it, because there's no argument. 7MIL683. You're talking about companies such as Omnitrends that do harm, and you don't need that. There are companies you can go without that are not demon possessed by their employees, by those that own that company, that operate that company, that engage in such abuse of American citizens. All right, that is a demonic disdain, if you will, for the constitutional and human rights. All right, for the basic dignity of an American citizen, and I'm going to prosecute. And as a matter of justice, such companies shouldn't survive. 6RTX825, and all that wealth of documentation. And as I'm just using Omnitrends is just one example, who, by the way, is acting on behalf of the entire group. The entire group of people of the state are going to be prosecuted for what Omnitrends engaged in. You're talking about for what Omnitrends engaged in on behalf of the group, by the way. They're acting on behalf of the state, all of them together, all of them. All right, that's how the government is monitoring you, through the people of the state. And so those demons are going to catch all of those federal charges together as one. Okay, because that's the reality. There are demons that are acting together. There are demons that are engaging in criminal conduct together, and that demon happens to be identified by a company name, Omnitrends, which is relevant for identifying a criminal system that is demonic at its core, but it is relevant for prosecution under the law for that objective conduct that they engage in. All right, that's a demon probably coming from Ultra Personnel. Or the barbershop, using the dumpster truck that I've showed you has directed light on the opposite side of it for purposes of making noise in the engineered light. That's a demon, a bald-headed demon. All right, 7AJ8 828, but I can't really see that one. I'm gonna get these demons over here. So like I said, that's not the sun that's remaining over that same block, which would be Holt and Plum. This goes without saying, but this is common sense. What I have shown is indeed exactly what I said it to be. And you cannot exaggerate what the state is doing with the fake sun. That's not the sun. That's impossible. 37901R1. Directed light while that demon drives by. And you've already seen that. That's the admission of a stalker and a demon-possessed one. Knows exactly who I am. All right? And that's called terrorism as well. 7VXE240, 8UBF807, 8GQZ094. Everybody at Clinica Medica, California, stalking in the path. And this is suite number 402 inside of the B&G Plaza. Maintaining a line is called relevant positioning, and doing so while demons patrol in the parking lot, speaking to their knowledge of who I am, where I am, and exactly what I am doing. All right? 7KPP556. And that's why it is indistinguishable omnitrans versus a third-party demon such as this one using a pickup truck to pace back and forth in a parking lot while impossible light activity swipes all across the ground and all across the walls. All right, they are demons that are stalking together. 6LNZ007, and that's exactly what that directed light is I'm showing you inside of the Stater Brothers is establishing. Stalking, knowledge of exactly who I am, where I am, what I am doing, and as I am doing it. Okay, it's the admission of the demon-possessed who are stalking on behalf of a government that's operating a demonic targeting system. 6FTM477, 8GNT115, Platinum Care 57371W2, 6LNZ007, in case I didn't read that one, 4HME902, and 6NPW544. Alrighty, I just want to show you the face of that demon that engaged in that conduct. Another demon did the exact same thing in the parking lot, 8EKJ604, and I'm showing you what is the fake sun over this parking lot. It's the same exact pattern of conduct, and you have what is that engineered light. So I'm showing you the environment that they're driving in, and that is the admission of the demon possessed who are stalking. All right, and then that psychopath just hops in line with the rest of those demons at the Clinica Medica, California. That's called relevant positioning, you're talking about the absence of any form, doing the same exact thing as Omnitrans, license 1399976. It is currently 8:46 a.m. Oh, and that's the license plate of Omnitrans who's stalking at the bus stop right now. All right, it is 8:50, and I did complete a purchase at the Shiro's Liquor. And I'm going to continue documenting minions. Upon understanding how a government is monitoring you, it is the most despicable crime that is actually unfathomable as well, and this is why you're going to prosecute thousands by the thousands, because let me be clear, there are even more demons than there is time to document. But I have spent plenty of time, and I've also have documented of record demons whose name I know. I haven't even dipped into that. Okay, I'm getting as many demons that are crossing the path. 54301P2, 6ZTK110, 8JTK601, 8DBE682. I can't really see that. You can scratch that. 6ZIR378, 6. I can't see that one. This is too much electronic waste. 9783402. Sorry, that's called One Stop Recycler, touching with directed light. 8XDT281. 8SVY287. 32754H3. License plate 7WTW410. BZ39965, 5D20917, 6WPH115, 6XYH620. This is license plate 94150Y2. Exiting the B&G Plaza, loitering in relevant position, touching with directed light as they exit, driving east on Holt Boulevard at 8:52 a.m. 7PWV420. 8GUS 931, 7RWC 504, 8MOT 526, 14118 P2. JMR 419. I think that's Iowa. I think that's what it looks like, an Iowa plate. 7THS 607. It's currently 8:52 a.m. still, yeah. License plate 8WND443. YAC260, 8BP2285, 8TXJ783, 86769H2, 8SVA032. Oh man. 7HXC 750, 5334 8X2. I can't really see that one. This is, let's see, 7VOH213. Get this demon that's stalking with audible activity. Her license plate is 7YWR584. She uses her door as closure. That's audible activity in the engineered light under the fake sun. That's a demon that's stalking with noise with simultaneity to my stepping out into the street to get that license plate 7VOH. All right, that's a demonic behavioral pattern. License plate 1566755, City of Ontario, 7N01. I can't really see that one. The last three is 184, but I can't see it. You can scratch that one. It's 8:55 a.m. Sorry, 8XKE411. 7, I can't see that one. Let's see, 8YUU129, 8XVU038, 7UES368, 6KMJ224, 6AND001. Ready refresh. License plate 532961. Ready refresh is readyrefresh.com. I believe they sell water. They are also monitoring American citizens stalking, all right, and sexually molesting, touching my body with that which is unnaturally occurring, going all out of your way in order to touch while you're stalking. In other words, LBY4YOU 1194303, 7PLL554, 5YRM481. And Ready Refresh knows exactly who I am. 3THP157, 7WTG913, 8EZT189. And this little demon with the red beanie on. Let's see what license plate he's in. They're engaging in surveillance at B&G Plaza, because that's what's going on when you're loitering in relevant position. 8KPB467. License 5CRP299, CK113. It's 8:57 a.m. TQS271, engaging in an ongoing molestation. This is assault and battery as the state is touching and stalking via the people of the state. And that license plate exiting B&G Plaza. It's currently 9 a.m. So let me show you the Ontario Police Department. Oh, those cowards are going to turn north on Holt. I'm sorry, on Plum. They are stalking, coming down the street. Understand they know exactly what I'm saying as I'm saying it. And they're with Vitco Foods, who is exiting B&G Plaza, engaging in that ongoing molestation. They're one entity. Directed light reaching across the street while they drive east. And Ontario Police drives north on Plum. They're demons that are monitoring together. Omnitrans proceeding west from the limit and halt. They're monitoring together and engaging in an ongoing. This is a demonic orgy while they touch with that which is unnaturally occurring, impossible to occur. Light does not stream in lines from your vehicle across surfaces and across the airspace to touch any person or surfaces that are around. It's entirely demonic, and these demons are engaging in sexual violence while they're stalking. And while they're doing so, they are admitting indeed that they are stalking, and they know exactly who I am. They know exactly where I am and what I'm doing. That includes the Ontario Police Department, Vitco Foods, and that license plate, as I just stated. This is an ongoing molestation. Let me be clear. This sexual violence, the state that is using third-party airline planes, including Amazon Prime, UPS, Alaska Airlines, Delta Airlines, Southwest, like I said, FedEx, and UPS, all of the aforesaid airlines that I have documented, including Frontier Airlines, they are part of the same molestation. They are creating and stalking. They are creating audible activity, if you will, engaging in the criminal elements of monitoring, engaging in that terrorism. It is group conduct. And while the state is on the ground surrounding and molesting with impossible light activity, the state that is flying over my head in these commercial airline planes and by helicopter, but that's the state directly. I'm identifying third parties that are part of the same exact terrorizing sexual molestation. And those third parties are going to be prosecuted for the same. It's not separate because they're stalking over my head, terrorizing in the sky space above me. They are part of the same exact demonic orgy that these stalkers are engaged in on behalf of the state. All right, it's 9:03 a.m. Let's get this line of demons. 8YJZ252, 8JBN 283, 5RBG550, 6LCK959, 9422-1H3, 6YMR 565, 1476055 at City of Ontario, 8VRL 273, CGB 3575 Arizona, 7WUP 722, 88176. It's a different look license plate. 2VCJ 952, 7NCE 301. Driving eastbound on Hull Boulevard. Alrighty, this dark-skinned Latina, this aged dark-skinned Latina, she's engaged in surveillance, stalking in the path, remaining present on the sidewalk with her communication device, monitoring with the state. I did capture an image of her. She's under the fake sun and present in relevant position with the communication device while I'm being molested. 8NMS 812. License plate 8SLW617 in the B&G Plaza parking lot. And as that demon drives around, that's all they're doing is creating light activity and stalking, engaged in surveillance. And impossible light sweeps across the storefronts of the B&G Plaza. It's 9:04 a.m. (7ALV117). 58355B3, Acadian Fish Company. 8VRP446. 8G72734, but I can't really see that one. You can scratch that. Here comes a sex offender that is Omnitrans, 1545906, bus number 2349. License 5NKT8. I can't see the rest of that one. And it is 9:05 a.m. License 8871153, 8LRZ 902. And like I stated, while I'm at 150 East Holt, directed light is not appearing beside the 150 East Holt building, while the stalker and sex offender that is Omnitrans drives by that building. Omnitrans waits to touch me with the state. That's a sex offender that is stalking, knows exactly who I am, and that's why you also have what is impossible light activity while they are driving exactly where I am. Not directed light at the 150 East Holt building, not directed light while they are approaching me, directed light while they cross path with me, touching and stalking. That's the P.O.C, okay? And doing so in concert with the people of the state. 8SAE135. That is speaking to specific knowledge, not only based on the fact of the occurrence of directed light, but is specific knowledge to my location and the intent to touch or molest while you're stalking on behalf of the government. That is going to be prosecuted as an exceedingly violent sex offense. The government's going to be prosecuted for engaging in such methods of sexual violence and doing it by the masses. Okay, the state engages in this method of sexual violence and harassment and battery, if you will, through the thousands of third parties that are stalking you, the people of the state. All right, and it is done through, it doesn't matter whether it's a commercial vehicle or whether it's a third party that is on foot. The state engages in the same light activity while they cross your path. 6 MHH 676. And the mere numerosity, you're talking about prosecuting specifically an actor such as Omnitrans, and the despicable conduct of using that bus line, which they also use and abuse. They don't even follow their bus routes or their published schedules to engage in sexually violating me. That's how bad they want to touch on me while they're stalking. License plate, Puritan Bakery, 25808B1. And that is exactly what that is revealing, because you're stalking, you're clearly stalking. And then you're touching, and you're not even touching in any way that's naturally occurring. So you're going out of your way to touch with that which is unnatural to even occur. Rider, crossing path with a different truck. Okay, same conduct of directed light while they are crossing path. 29373F2, 7ZYS. I can't see the rest of that one. 8NX. I can't see that one. Sorry. Let me see. PPV 6887. I believe that's Texas. 8PXH. I can't see that one. 8VOD949. There you go. 70900E3, 8NUT519, 8TBR 676, I believe, exiting B&G Plaza right now at 9:08 a.m. where Omnitrans is engaged in surveillance. Coach USA. Oh no, that's H&L Charter, crossing path north on Euclid Avenue at 9:08 a.m. 7WWR. I can't see that one. By the way, it's 9:08. That is, oh yeah, 2WQW845. Student Transportation of America, crossing path going westbound on Holt Boulevard. LVA018, 8UQR239. And again, in case I did not state it, that's bus number 234915459006. And let me show you the fake sun. License plate 7AWE390. It's 9:12 a.m. $5AXS363. A demon pulls up behind me. I'll get that license plate as I start recording. 7GM. I can't see that one. 572 is the last three. 7SMD790. 3799 5M2. 7VBV. I can't see that one. 8TWG267. And stalking with activity. Pulls up as I start recording. This is a demon creeping in the background. Knows what I'm doing as I'm doing it. Under the fake sun. 7UKP357. All right, license plate. Pacific Paper. A084799. That's the license plate on the back of that large truck. Pacific Paper. Directed light while that demon in that commercial vehicle crosses path. License 6TM226, but that's not the whole plate. You can see all the characters. Omnitrans is loitering in relevant position. Bus number 1336. Uh, 1336 is loitering at what is Lemon and Holt. License BU2E547, I believe. That's a paper plate. That's the state creating audible activity using commercial airline planes flying over the B&G Plaza under the fake sun. All right, so you're understanding what are the elements. It's noise and the engineered light and the ongoing perpetual presence of demons, all right, who are monitoring with communication devices. Demon-possessed stalkers, not ordinary stalkers. There's nothing ordinary about stalking someone as a mass group, by the way, either. It's absolutely demonic. 7SOG299. 7916. I can't see that one. C6FVU756. Is this Coca-Cola? Crossing path going westbound. NPW 5882, Texas. License 8KIR 506, I believe. 7HMK209. 1286. Can't see the rest of that one. It's 9:17 a.m. 7FMZ 920. Five EWA 416, 6MFL 846. Estes, ESTES, going westbound on Hope Boulevard. 8NWJ 196. 7VPT 614. 8MSW 850. Trench Plate Rental Company. 4JCS 288. UPS, license plate 70142C1. You already know about those demons, the same exact conduct, stalking with directed light. Knows exactly who I am and where I am. Stalking on behalf of a government. 8RKU 847. 8EBK 742. MS 189. Can't see the rest of it. I want to say 917. That's a white BMW. Uses that motor as audible activity while they are holding up their communication device, covering up their face while they cross path. License plate 7LAS 148. 6BZA 678. Seven NGW 927. Eight TMR 339. 6T4 72. I can't see that one. 7ZEC 747. 8UDX 735. 08182U2. Vertec crossing path coming eastbound on Hope Boulevard, and it's 9:21 a.m. Vertec is license plate 6997H1. 6997 TH1, I believe. That's Vertec Waste Management Company. 6EQJ965 is exiting B&G Plaza. Eight HJC 352, I believe. 8NSU 564. La Roque is crossing path again. I think I read that license plate already. 7B23314. That's not the La Roque. La Roque is spelled LAROCQUE, by the way. Using that commercial vehicle crossing path. Five WOT 299. 8UDN 599. XDY 895. (844) 42G3 88NY 722. 6MXV 676 7UKR 031. It's 9:23 a.m. (423LZ) handicap 8RTY 699. 6JGF 735 8K. I can't say that one. 6LXB 818 is exiting B&G Plaza, going east on Hall. 7Y. I can't say that one. 8AMC 927. (7FJ 4001). It is 9:24 a.m. 3UBT 144, 8TBP 681, 8VYK 501, 8ATR 192, 8KW. I can't say that one. 4NC3 050. That's a large truck. That's a back license plate on a truck. 4TGJ 299, 8WAT 610. 6MA. Can't see the last three is 215, and they're exiting B&G Plaza. Can't see that whole plate though. 8VX. Can't see that one. It's 9:26. This is the sheriff crossing path under the fake sun. 1516335. 18948K2. 6RTX 825. 8KLG 788 09780H3. Trucking company, crossing path. 8AKN 720, 895, 17K2, 8LWN 052, 6DME 791, 8N77 590. XNU 188. Earl M. Jorgensen Company, crossing path, 4EY 6796, I believe. Jorgensen spelled Jorgenson. 7AXD 411. 5438 L. I can't see that whole plate. The last two is L2, but I can't see the whole plate. Eight EKS 131 is exiting B&G Plaza at 9:29 a.m. 8 JET 440. Eight BQX 419. 913 89D3, I believe. Let me see that one. 8 SBL 431. 7 AA 98A. Substantially similar. You can see it's an Arizona plate. 5 JJW 772. 7 KPU 290. 6 LUZ 630. 80 Trucking. 8 AQL 340, 8 JWY 952, 5 DTH 050, Team Lighting, 8G 69873, 9801 7K2, 7J, can't see that one. 7MPD 971, 8NUE 804, 7S BW 839. RJX 439, 9F 90088, F&M Transit Incorporated, 8 KGV 370, 8 RUM 312, 7, I can't really see that one. License plate 6NTY 887, 7F JU401 is now exiting B&G Plaza, 6VGF 995, 7582PP2, I believe. Can't really see that one. 8 KAP 452 and Omni 1545 686, bus number 2355. 7 LDK 808, 8 KVM 487. And this is Omnitransit. I'm reading the bus number that's going eastbound. At 9:33 a.m. they're arriving and molesting and engaging in surveillance as they loiter. 8K BL 144, 7EBJ 348. I'm sorry, that is 4EBJ 348. 7FGH 930. And no directed light on the side of Shiro's Liquor while Omnitrans drives by, and that goes for the rest of them as well. All right, while I'm showing you that directed light, while I'm standing at that location, not only Impossible Light, 62713W2, 62713 I can't see that one. I don't think there was a 3 in that character. But like I said, the absence of that directed light is speaking to knowledge of my exact location. And that is also light that's not occurring naturally under any circumstances. That is the state identifying itself through the people of the state who are stalking in the path vicariously on behalf of that entity as they are driving by in commercial vehicles and in their own vehicles. And the absence of that light on the side of that Shiro's liquor, which is speaking to the identification of demon-possessed stalkers who know exactly who I am, where I am, what I'm doing as I'm doing it. And that is the ongoing knowledge everywhere, including inside of the private space, which is the bathroom, where the same exact demon-possessed entity is stalking and engaging in what is stalking inside of the bathroom. That is the state that enters inside of the bathroom, stalking, ominously engaging in surveillance and activity creation in what is that ongoing environment that is maintained in such private spaces. That's the state that's stalking in a bathroom. That's the sex offender. All right, license 8PSK735. And I want to make sure that I point that out. And that's exactly what you see. No directed light. Again, directed light is engineered light. It's not naturally occurring. And it is intentionally occurring while they are crossing paths where I am. And that's why there's no directed light moving across the Shiro's liquor on the shade and the sidewalk, contrary to what I'm showing you in that documentation where you see substantial light while those demons are stalking in the path. 8WSY053. And all those that I identified, they're acting on behalf of the whole group. Speaking to what is the people of the state, what they are doing everywhere that I go, stalking. On behalf of the governments. 4WSW 526. 6YJ, I can't say that one. 7YV, I can't really say that. It's 7WYV618, but substantial something. You can scratch that. I can't say that clearly. 7KRR909. And it's directed light that's occurring while they are both driving eastbound and westbound, by the way. Absolutely impossible, going way, they want to touch really, really bad. 6DQF916, 8GYH133, 8DSW802, 2703, 1U1. Eight SSK 463. Alrighty, license plate, and I want to be clear what I'm showing you with regard to what is, and this is an ongoing pattern. It's a criminal system that's ceaselessly underway. And as I show you what is not the sun, what is directed light day in and day out, you're going to remember what is direct evidence of the state stalking with a light source and that which is not the sun. And as I'm showing you what is the state's directed light inside of the venue of Stater Brothers, that is light activity. That is not going to occur, whereas, again, 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm in the city of Upland, and the state is aiming light onto the ground inside of the Stater Brothers, absolutely, and that's at both entrances, by the way, and that's what I took pictures of. And it's also reaching into the store, touching on the merchandise, as I showed what is projected directed light. That is not going to, that doesn't even coexist with the fake sun being directly over the entrance, and let alone that's not the sun at that time in the morning, and also after this time, after 10 a.m., as I showed you just the other day, and the state is engaging in that light activity. That's how you're understanding what is stalking with light, and stalking with the fake sun. 8V NP 761. That's the identification of a venue. That's the knowledge as to who I am. 47889U1. CFPTF. I can't see that one though. ATQS 285. Air Plus 08696EF. 8VDH 589 55697Y1. That's Revive Restoration. 6YDE 367. 6YTF 893. Eight NNP 651 5WOL 643. United States Postal Service. 6920382 is the vehicle number. United Rentals crossing path. At least that's the logo on that truck. 49310A3. 6JCC 814. 00385D2, Sheriff crossing path again in the van, 1209 350. I read the license plate of the sheriff that crossed path in an SUV The sheriff crossed path again when I was not recording, going westbound, crossing path again, going eastbound in the van. It is currently, by the way, 9:39 a.m. 8 WSR 111. ALSONIA. What you're hearing, that's noise that the state is creating while I'm sitting at the bus stop, and it does so as I focus my eyesight or as I turn in a different location. The group stalkers that are engaged in surveillance at the B&G Plaza do the same thing with their car horns, with their engines, making any sort of noise to stalk with activity. That's what the state is doing, making any kind of noise. It sounds like something is dropping on the bus hood. The state is stalking with activity while I'm sitting here, and that is the pattern of conduct under what is the fake sun, by the way. License plate. That's demonic. License 7WFD458. Bell Cab crossing path. License 0074M2. Also stalking at the Ontario Airport, which is a venue that the state moves its fake sun over while I'm on the bus. 8XEB 108, 6BPW 883, and also directed light at nightfall while I'm crossing the Ontario Airport, where Bell Cab is stalking in the path. 8YFR 278, 8LGC 869, 32337H3, 7RAV 203. Eight PPB 618. It is 9:41 a.m. and that was the state sounding plane engines with simultaneity to my identification of a demonic method of stalking with noise. Doing so under the fake sun. This is the state stalking, and that's the psychopath listening to every syllable that I state about its demonic pattern of conduct. 14115M2. License plate J675SO 8WAG 477 62532H3 6NWC 698. License plate 0048723. Substantially similar. Can we see that one? Let's see, 5UTH249. 8YZZ455. 7PNU 463. Let's see, license plate 8UFY 884 67411N1 8D. I can't see that one. 4HQC 771 7NY. Can't see that one. That's 8LWL 181. 6142. I can't really see that one. 25846J1. 5K. Oh, you can try that. 45306. Yeah, you can see that one. 7RR. Oh, I can't see that one either. 52044M2. 46499H2. 8. I can't see that one. $6YSH031, I believe. Entering inside of B&G Plaza. It's currently 9:44 a.m. And this is the state's light source that's remaining over the B&G Plaza. And this is the same venue where the state has kept it after 3 p.m. as I documented on November 26th, 93596M1. And then I'm showing you what is the state acting as though the fake sun is setting as it's moving westward, remaining over the same parking lot, aiming light underneath the shaded structure of the S.I.I.S liquor side of the same exact B&G Plaza. And then you have what is keeping in alignment with me as I exit the Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library, while the state is aiming directed light underneath the side of that library, aiming light onto that walkway between the senior center and onto the bushels. This is what I took pictures of. And then the state yesterday, what I'm showing you, aiming light onto the City Hall after keeping perfect alignment with me with what is a fake sun over the Ontario Plaza. 8GNX868. All right, asininity, stalking with light. And why is directed light not appearing on the side of the S.I.I.S liquor? Because the people of the state who are demon-possessed stalkers are stalking with light while I'm in the shade. And that's why they were stalking and molesting with that substantial directed light on the side of that building. 8EVX121, excuse me, 8EVX121. They're maintaining light while they're stalking. It's demonic, and they're touching. So while I am sitting at the bus bench and the state is molesting with the fake sun, direct light is on the streets while they cross path 5BPL470, precise to where I'm located. All right, 12386V1. And under all circumstances, that is light that is never naturally occurring. Directed light is the signature of the stalker that is acting on behalf of the state that is operating a monitoring system. Monitoring with communication devices in violation of Title 18. And it is embedded into society in California. And that's why you have Lily, spelled Lily, Lily.com on that commercial vehicle, stalking in the path under the fake sun, and directed light is occurring, coexisting with their crossing path conduct. That is called stalking. All right, Union Pacific, audible activity under the engineered light, 5U75386. That's how you have that. That's how you have UPS engaging in that conduct. All right, that's how 7R. I can't really see that one. License 267 BBK. That looks like a different type of license plate. 8VVX310. That's how you have that. That's how you have commercial vehicles engaging in the same exact conduct. There's no deviation from the pattern of conduct. We're talking about demons that are operating in every fathomable method of what is the ongoing element of relevant positioning. It's called group stalking on behalf of a government. And it is satanic. 8LGD003. I'm sorry, 8LGD033. 7VPW758. This is the ability to prosecute them with their own demonic activity. 8JNH, can't really see that one. It's revealing their condition, which is a threat that they are posing while they are practicing. And I'm speaking about the people of the state right now. That goes without saying about the government, all right? And those state actors, as I'm documenting them, engaging in this terrorism with the people of the state. 11388J1. 7K11526. ME Hart, I can't really see that one. Here comes Omnitrans at 9:47 a.m. Where the state's fixed sun is already over me at the Fontana Metrolink train station, 1545806. Remember that while I'm documenting the molestation by Omnitrans at B&G Plaza. That's bus number 2358 and directed light while demons are continuously driving by. 8BLU711. 3XNA169, and I showed you that yesterday while I'm showing you that psychopath, that white female that's driving the Omnitrans bus, while she's keeping her head straight, knows that she's being documented, and that is direct evidence of what is a sex offender, because I've always consistently shown what is molestation under what is also a light source that's also over my head, and you're looking at what is directed light while that demon in the dark green truck drives by. You see that spark of light? That's directed light while I'm showing you the face of that demon that was driving that Omnitrans bus yesterday. That was November 29th, yeah, at this same exact bus stop. It's already published. 129PH4. I'm sorry, that's 29PH4. I think that's a handicap plate. 8EMX988. 7PKA107. 8DGH303. 74934J2, Utility Tree Service. 8XPK026. 7TXX329. 70XX239, I believe. All right, that's a psychopath, and that's what you're witnessing on my video inside of Stater Brothers. All those demons filling that venue. It's the identification of demon-possessed stalkers inside of a venue, and the specific signature of what is directed light on the ceiling above. Okay, inexplicable light, directed light. 7YFC. Can't see the rest of that plate. 8GIN059. While those psychopaths just stand around, just looking like that's a psychopath, and they're stalking. 8. But guess what? In federal court, when I prosecute them and show them to be the demon-possessed psychopaths and sex offenders that they are, they're going to be they're going to be quiet there too. 6SFF868, because there's no argument against that documentation of what is a sex offender touching with that which is not naturally occurring. 6EWH619, and that goes for Omnitrans. That company is likely not going to survive, and I said that over a year ago, and I meant that. License plate 8KQB240. Those are companies, that's the people of the state, that's an aspect that American society can go without. They pose a danger, they pose a harm, and they intend that, and that's exactly what I documented them engaging in. 1490780, 8SFJ315, 8XKA 989, Pepe's Towing, PEPE 244, I can't really see that, but that's Pepe's Towing. 5EWB 382, it's 9:50 a.m. That's exactly what I documented them, and there is no argument against objective evidence. That is documentation. All right, and this is documentation of audible activity and engineered light. The demon-possessed agency, that is the Ontario Fire Department. Just like I showed you under the fake sun while I'm standing beside Enrique's income tax. All right, license plate, 9:51 a.m. And that was Ontario Fire Department going east on Sultana. I'm sorry, south on Santana and then east on Hull Boulevard. License 8FTX138, 8GH, I can't see that one, 88176. And there's small little characters that look like a different type of license plate. It is 9:51 a.m. This is all occurring under the fake sun that's remaining over the B&G Plaza, 8MTR577. And like I said, while Omnitrans is crossing path and molesting with directed light, you're going to remember not only what I'm documenting now, the directed light and the fake sun, but this is cumulative documentation, and this is how you know what is stalking conduct. It is direct evidence of what is a demon-possessed, your condition, and your stalking activity on behalf of a government that is stalking with an entire environment. It's entirely demonic to do so, and it is terrorism while the government does so through the people of the state, including 8TQR450. This fake sun is documented remaining over me at the Fontana Metrolink Train Center in the city of Fontana. All right, that's not the sun that, as I'm showing you, Jacobs Engineering Company. And those demons are patrolling. I'm at the Fontana Metrolink train station, and I'm showing you what is the same exact engineered light, and that which is not the sun that's remaining squarely over my head as I walk through that parking lot. And it's 9:52 a.m. and the state is keeping its fake sun stationary over me, and then to remain over the 280 Northland Apartments. Not now, doesn't coexist, even though I've documented that presence. The state is going to follow to that venue with a fake sun. 8B34601, in the same way that the people of the state are following. 7TMP578. 07383U2. That is legally defined as stalking. 74501D2, 8T65439, and the ability to identify that stalker is by the very criminal activity that is demonic, identifying such stalkers. 7WGM178, 5HRX023, 8SLW617. It is 9:53 a.m. Ontario Town Square Townhomes, audible activity under the fake sun. 6PKF876. It's coming from that venue. License plate 6XLE050. And like I'm stating with regard to just one example of the state keeping its light source documentation over me in the city of Fontana, 8JRN909, which is supposed to coexist, and it doesn't, with what is not the sun. That's the state's fake sun. That's the identification of the stalker operating over the people of the state I'm sorry, not the fake sun, but the demon possession and stalking activity of the people of the state while I'm in the city of Fontana. And that is why there is also no reasonable question when I'm showing you what is not the sun, that the state is changing the color of the directed light. That's all that is. And maintaining directed light on the same exact venue. That does not coexist while I'm in an entirely different city. That's the purpose of that documentation. And there is no reasonable question about what I showed you yesterday. Aiming directed light on the city of Ontario. I'm sorry, not the city of Ontario, on the City Hall, the Ontario City Council building, which, by the way, is occurring after the state covered the inside and outside entrance area of the Over Family Community Library. And that coexists, what you're remembering, when I'm in an entirely different city. 8XWD341 and en route back to Ontario. What is the state doing with its fake sun while I'm on that venue that are the sex offending stalkers of Omnitrans? The state is molesting with directed light, keeping that fake sun in the windshield of that bus. That is not the sun, and that's not sunlight that I showed you in video at 4:28 p.m. covering the City Hall building behind the 280 North Lemon Apartments, behind the Over Family Community Library. That's the state's pattern of touching surfaces with light. All right, and license plate 68JK721. He's revving his engine, which is audible activity, while that demon listens to me recite the evidence with which I'm going to prosecute him. All right, license plate. Oh, no license plate on that one. City of Ontario, crossing path in City of Ontario, stalking with light, 1567697 at Plum and Holt. License plate, I can go 24471L2. Yeah, that's City of Ontario, vehicle 5572. Under the fake sun. And fire department, just patrolling up and down in a fire truck, demons. License plate, do we have one? Oh, we don't have one. But I did show you the image of the fake sun that's no longer the B&G Plaza while the Ontario Fire Department is stalking. V894PO, 6XGB897. Alrighty, and that is speaking to what is no reasonable question as to what is not the sun. What I'm showing you, what is the state keeping that fake sun in perfect alignment with me, as you see in the parking lot while I'm inside of the Ontario Plaza on Mountain Avenue after leaving the Over Family Community Library. That is not a light source that's going to in any way result in light on the Ontario City Hall building. That's the pattern of touching surfaces around me with directed light, which the state made dark orange, which is supposed to be the sun setting as it's reaching that building behind the Over Family Community Library, by the way, after aiming that substantial direct light inside of the Over Family Community Library, where that's supposed to be the sun setting. And you're also understanding, again, that ongoing cumulative documentation. This demon-possessed stalker that is showing that level of obsession is lacking intelligence, okay? While they're engaged in that level of obsessive stalking. 8TJL399 at third-party facilitating venue, Metro 102. 7XNL741. So that is not a reasonable question, and it is irresponsible when you're documenting a government to look at such documentation in a vacuum. There's a wealth of documentation showing what is stalking with light, and it coexists with where I am at the same time. Because if it's the actual sun, then it's going to be consistent. All right, oh, that's the sun. Well, then 24 hours later, I can go to an entirely different location, and you're talking about what is the maintenance of that central presence over my head and the maintenance of that engineered light. That coexists with the ongoing presence all around and the demonic behavioral pattern while they're all around me in that engineered light. That is the P.O.C. It's not sophisticated. They're demons, and they are awaiting their embarrassment and prosecution. And whatever company name you engage in that demonic activity in, I'm going to prosecute for what is that terrorist conduct that you engaged in. And group stalking at the City Hall, cross path a very long time ago while I was at B&G Plaza, loitering in relevant position in the parking lot of the City Hall right now. Alrighty, that is 8TSJ840 stops in their tracks with directed light right there beside the back wheel while they're under the fake sun and starts using their flashers while this demon that I'm showing you is loitering at the parking lot area of the City Hall. This license plate, these are demons monitoring together. That's license plate 24576W2. All right, documented on my on my podcast, the license plate of this group stalker who's monitoring with the Ontario police who come in a relevant position to approach me while they're engaging in the pattern of conduct. That's called terrorism. All right, and so my asking him, how do I know him? All of this is relevant positioning, audible activity creation, indirected light and under the fake sun, and monitoring. That's criminal facilitation, while 24576W2 is loitering and monitoring on a communication device with that agency, with UPS, with a group stalker that stops in front of me with their flashers on, and what is engineered light that I'm showing you is manifesting in the shade. That's the P.O.C. While the fake sun is no longer over the B&G Plaza, it is directly over my head while the Ontario police are identifying me by name, one of whom I have never met. The other one uses the fact that I have communicated with him before while he is monitoring me and representing the same exact identical threat. Okay, it is currently 10:05 a.m. That is P.O.C. And like I stated in that video, Ontario police do indeed know who I am. They are present under the exact same elements. That is impossible light activity, a fake sun that's remaining over my head at what is the state facilitating venue of the City Hall. They represent a very potent threat, demon-possessed stalkers who are monitoring with the people, aware of everything that I'm documenting, and that is speaking to what is their immediate arrival and the same exact pattern of directed light across the Metro 1 and 2 apartments while they cross path. That's the impossible light activity. That is how Medina knows who I am. He's a demon-possessed stalker. All right, engaging in that conduct in violation of Title 18. All right, doing so while you are of that condition as well, that is another identification of what is a terrorist, okay, while they're monitoring American citizens representing the state and doing so. 7PZN960, 6ETP013, 8GYE330, 72138Z1, 8KPN269. All right, and the Ontario police engage in such conduct, especially as you engage in monitoring. So as I'm remaining for a period of time and documenting all of that, all of those actors inside of the parking lot, you have what is stalking, maintaining presence all around the perimeter, as opposed to just going on ahead and approaching me and doing so with a smile on their face while they know what I am documenting and they are monitoring while they're doing so. You're witnessing monitoring conduct and a demon-possessed entity in operation while they are speaking of, hey, Erica, how you doing? And I'm encountering them and documenting them. They're monitoring while they're doing so. All right, that is a tactic of engaging the target individual. That's what that was about. 7NHE724, while the elements do not cease to exist. It is indeed the method of engaging in such elements directly, okay, as opposed to engaging in ongoing crossing of path. And again, that license plate of Ontario Police 1591659, vehicle 1021. And let me show you what is the movement of the fake sun. And as I take that picture, the demons of license plate, let me show you, 8YHB855. All right, while that old biddy is monitoring in concert with the people of the state, you see directed light on the ground. That is on the opposite side of the vehicle that's arriving. 8YHH855 is stalking in the path and stops as I take a picture of the Ontario Police vehicle that is in front of me under movement of the state's fake sun. And with knowledge of what I'm doing on my phone, that's why they stopped there. They let out that old geezer who was monitoring, and directed light is seen on the ground. That is absolutely impossible light activity, all right, while she opens and closes the door. And doing so while I am showing you, taking a picture, that's called stalking in the path. And these are demons that know exactly what I'm doing as I'm doing it. And that form of letting someone out is relevant positioning, audible activity, and you're looking at what is directed light while she is opening that door. That is the pattern of conduct underway. And what I took a picture of is the Ontario Police Department vehicle as I'm at the entrance of the senior center, and you're looking at what is the real-time movement of that. The Ontario Police are documented on video right now, engaging in nothing but the P.O.C. Those are psychopaths engaging in a pattern of conduct, and putting a smile on your face is no less of that terrorizing conduct. Those are psychopaths that know what I'm documenting, know whatever every syllable that I am uttering as I utter it. As I'm showing you, the demon-possessed stalker turning on their flashers as I start picturing the Caucasian male stalking in the path with his communication device, the fake sun over the Ontario Town Square. That third party that immediately turns on their flashers as I turn on my camera, replaced by UPS, who was stalking in the path with their flashers on under the fake sun that is over the Ontario Town Square. An absolute departure from remaining over the B&G Plaza. And it is also distinct from being over the 280 North Limit Apartments, where I have documented where I'm present earlier in the day, and the state is nowhere near the B&G Plaza. It is remaining directly over my head, all right, and that is speaking to what is the intentional maintenance of activity and an effort to engage in what is terrorism. Understand the ordinary targeted individual that is being targeted by law enforcement who are monitoring in concert with the people of the state is engaging in what is experiencing the ubiquitous presence of law enforcement as I documented it, and they engage in a pattern of kidnapping. All right, engaging in that pattern of conduct with law enforcement officers who are putting a smile on their face while they are monitoring, which is a threat to your life, while they know everything that you're documenting, is no less than a malicious form of the exact same pattern of conduct. And understand that this entity is aware of exactly what I have documented about it. All right, so smiling on your face is no form. All right, you're talking about the exact same pattern of conduct, and this is speaking to the crafting of that policy. It is no deviation from that form. You're looking at what is the fake sun and that directed light, while they directly come up and encounter me speaking my name, an admission as to knowledge of who I am, and then stating that he knows me. We've encountered, he's lying out of his face. Okay, it's 10:11 a.m. Showing you what is the ongoing pattern of stalking with light. In the shade, directed light appearing on the stair 3 door of the 280 North Living Apartments while the fake sun is in front of me. That's going to have what is shade. The state is engaging in making sure everything is covered with light. Light is not bouncing off of surfaces onto other surfaces, creating shadows in that reflection of what is sunlight. That's not sunlight. That's not reflection of sunlight. That's the state's engineered light, and that is the demonic pattern of keeping light around, engineered light, while they're monitoring with communication devices. And the Ontario Police Department are monitoring in plain sight. That was called conspicuous stalking as they approached me with a directed light moving across the Metro 1 and 2 apartments as they cross paths, just like the demons of the UPS, just like the demons in their vehicles and their license plates as I'm reciting it. And then they approached me stating my name and talking about that that the passenger one knows me. I've encountered the driver, never encountered the passenger, and that's why I'm asking him specifically, who are you and when did we meet? Because he's lying. All right, but like I said, the deduction of stalking is based on the P.O.C. of directed light and the fake sun, which is what he is under. That's where he's present, and that is speaking to that knowledge. He knows exactly who I am. But in their twisted universe, that's why I'm asking him, how do you know who I am? Because you're talking about never having met him before. Okay, he could have said, oh, I know your name because Guerrero told me. He didn't say that. He said we've encountered before, and we have not. Never met him. And that's not, you heard what he said. He's stating that we've met before. That's an absolute lie out of a demon-possessed stalker. Clean Street Monitoring, S.I.I.S 494. Doing so with directed light. This is the exact same conduct of the City of Ontario yesterday under the exact same fake sun. Loitering in the path with a flashing light at Wells Fargo. Sitting in the driveway of the traffic, maintaining presence of the path. That's group stalking conduct. That's what I'm showing at the City Hall. It's ongoing right now. McCarthy creating audible activity. It's 10:13 a.m. All right, that's Clean Street, license 7XYS 494. Directed light while demons are driving by that vehicle. That's flashing light. Light activity while City of Ontario is behind in the same alleyway, while the fake sun is over the 280 North Lemon Apartments. And this is at 10:13 in the morning, where the state's fake sun is remaining over, by the way, the multiple addresses that I've shown you at 10 o'clock in the morning, where the state's fake sun is stationary, where I remain, including at 630 North Fern. Okay, that's called stalking with light, and it does not change. It is exacerbated while law enforcement engages in that terrorism, that practicing of demonic conduct that's achieving a criminal objective of monitoring with communication devices. And the Ovid Family Community Library is a facilitating venue where that state's fake sun is remaining for the duration of the day, where they are engaging in the demonic behavioral pattern of stalking with noise and engineered light. That's how I'm able to capture that impossible light activity inside, while I have double shadows, while you have what is absolute impossible light, upright fixtures, chairs, and partitions having flat shadows on the ground. These are demons that surround inside of a venue. That is the same exact conduct of which you're looking at, patches of directed light on the ceiling inside of the Stater Brothers. Directed light at the entrance and at the exit. All right, using everything they have, pushing around their little bookshelves while they're stalking with noise. All right, demons. All right, showing you at 10:18 a.m. what are demons that are patrolling, and they are in the directed light while they're doing so, pushing around book carts. And you're looking at what the male with the high socks on. He's got the ham hock legs and shorts. He's pacing back and forth. They're doing so in engineered light. That is ongoing monitoring conduct. It's demonic. Understand, these are demons that are pacing in engineered light. It's the same exact P.O.C. It is a method of engagement of what is movement and noise in that engineered light, and that's what I'm capturing while I am walking around there, tracking every step and maintaining activity in that engineered light. Right? They use the same methods employed to stalk with noise and engineered light. They are stalking on behalf of that entity while the state's fake sun, departing from its ongoing schedule, remaining over the B&G Plaza. All right, and while I'm capturing what is at 10:13 in the morning, the state engaging in conduct as though the sun is setting and keeping directed light inside of this venue, also flashing light inside of this venue, aiming impossible light activity while it's over that 280 North London apartment building, and yet aiming light inside of the copy room while I'm showing you what are my shadows that are on both the left and right side of me, enlarged in size. All right, it is every method of directed light employed inside of here, and this is the venue where they're engaging in sexual violence inside of the private space as well. Entirely demented and predatory demon-possessed stalking is underway inside of the Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library. It is yet another venue that is maintaining and representing vicarious presence on behalf of the government. It doesn't matter how old that geezer is. It doesn't matter how young that demon is. They are stalking all the same, representing that same entity that is maintaining presence by virtue of their presence and activity creation. Knowledge as to who I am, what I'm doing, where I am doing it, as I am doing it. It's 10:19 a.m. and that's P.O.C. All right, it is currently 12:22 p.m. and this is documentation of what is surveillance by the people, the demon-possessed entity, that is the people of the state acting in concert with the public entity of the state of California, that is monitoring with the ongoing accomplice, that is the people of the state that are maintaining presence in the path, stalking with audible noise, pursuant to what I am doing physically and on my communication device, while these who are demon-possessed and what is a demonic environment. This is the demented light that they are sitting in. They are stalking with noise, furiously typing on a laptop as a method of noise. The state creating impact through the wall, sounding as though some toilet is flushing through this wall space where you see me sitting on the side of the library, inside, around the bookcases. The state creating audible activity, sounding helicopter activity. The state sounding plane activity, commercial airline planes heard while I'm sitting here. And these demon-possessed stalkers are engaged in what is surveillance. And this is the exact same pattern of conduct underway while you are inside of what is a facilitating venue, that is the Ovitt Family Community Library, while ongoing monitoring in violation of Title 18 is underway, and it is facilitated by the people of the state who are engaged in surveillance in such a venue, surrounding with their presence, and what is the ongoing engineered light, and maintaining that group conduct, which is entirely demonic. These are psychopaths that surround, and they are monitoring on the venue of the internet with communication devices in concert with the government. And with regard to the images that I'm capturing, for example, while I'm walking into the venue, after capturing the state's fake sun that is present, in conflict with remaining present, as I remember, entered this venue, arrived at this venue later than 10:19 in the morning. So this is prefacing everything that I continue to document. And these are psychopaths that are stalking, all right? And the ongoing environment, the direct evidence of the fact that they are indeed stalking and identifying what is a demon-possessed stalker that is vicariously acting on behalf of the government, that is operating a demonic targeting system. So with that in mind, what you see as they are pushing book carts, first of all, they're in what is directed light. I've shown you the video of my shadows that's on my left and my right. You see what are the flat shadows of what are upright objects. Chairs and partitions do not have flat shadows on the ground. This is what is called patrolling while they are pushing book carts. It's a method of crossing path repeatedly. It's called patrolling. This is what demons engage in. This is also a method of what is activity creation, and this is pursuant to what is an ongoing knowledge of exactly who I am, where I am, what I'm doing as I'm doing it. And you're looking at what is the exact same pattern of conduct, for example, while I am outside under the fake sun, which is the same exact engineered light, right? This is the form for engineered light while you have multiple shadows inside, while the state is maintaining that engineered light inside. It is for purposes of the light activity inside of a venue, if you will. And this is a prime example of what you see are demons patrolling by maintaining presence and knowledge of who I am, where I am, what I'm doing as I'm doing it. Jacob Engineering Incorporated, where I am under the fake sun in the city of Fontana, which is at around the same time, by the way, in the city of Fontana, the state's fake sun in conflict with being over me while I arrive at the Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library. But what you're witnessing is a pattern of conduct there. It's engaging in what is crossing a path and doing repeatedly so. A line of demons. They are identified as Jacob Engineering. And while I'm in the parking lot of the Fontana Metrolink train station, you see these demons walk in a line past me after I have documented all of the vehicles inside of that parking lot of the Fontana Metrolink train station. And I'm showing you what is directed light, engineered light that covers the grounds. Speaking to what is the presence on behalf of the state and every third party and or state actor that I documented at that location. And what you see is while they're walking in those outfits, those yellow jackets, those are demons. And they are walking in a line, one repeatedly after another, crossing path. That's exactly what they are doing inside of the Ovitt Family Community Library as they are crossing path with book carts, all right, and what is engineered light. and they are doing so with knowledge of who I am, where I am. This is patrolling presence while I'm walking through the venue. I want to be clear, and that's entirely demonic. All right, it is in every way demented conduct, and it is appropriated, if you will, for what is supposed to be the appearance of normalcy in a library, and it is the absence of normalcy. This venue is under what is a fake sun. These are people who are acting pursuant to a demonic behavioral code, which is stalking with any method of noise, including maintaining presence in an environment that is surrounding abnormal audible activity, helicopter activity, plane activity, impact through the walls, hearing the gardening from outside. That's called amplification of audible activity, that which you're not going to hear in what's supposed to be a tranquil library. These are demons that surround, and they're stalking in the path. And it is what is documented and prosecuted as what is terrorism, as the ongoing demonic environment is perpetuated and maintained inside of the venue. It is currently 12:27 p.m. and this is P.O.C. All right, it's 2:51 p.m. I just want to document the people of the state. The entity is engaged in surveillance inside of the private space, which is the bathroom, at 2:51. I just want to document this sexual violence on behalf of the entity acting vicariously on behalf of the state of California. That is P.O.C. And that is a demon stalking with audible activity, flushing the toilet as I press the screen. That's a demon-possessed stalker that's engaging in that monitoring conduct inside of the private space. This is state facilitating venue, Ontario Over the Family Community Library, where that sexual violence is ongoing. P.O.C. All right, as I took images of what was surveillance, and I want to be clear, those that are both working here, the government is monitoring through the people of the state, and it does not matter whether they are on the clock or whether they are engaging in this demonic activity by visiting the venue and engaging in surveillance in that method. The state is engaging in amplifying the same exact impact, sounding of some water cycling, like a toilet is flushing in the bathroom, the same exact audible activity while I'm sitting by the book stacks that is facing the College Laverne Law, where the state was also creating the sound of helicopter and plane activity. I want to be clear, under a fake sun and in directed light, you are not doing anything but stalking on behalf of that government, and the government shall be prosecuted and the people shall be prosecuted for being a violent sex offender. The government has no business in the bathroom while your genitalia is exposed, maintaining that surveillance, maintaining that audible activity creation for that obsessive level of monitoring an American citizen. That is predatory and exceedingly obsessive with regard to revealing that pattern of conduct. And that's what these demon-possessed stalkers are doing in the bathroom while the state is amplifying that impossible audible activity. You are not going to hear through these tiles and through this walls the cycling and the creation of impact, and this exact same activity creation that the state was creating while I was sitting. By the way, that's what I was citing while they're keeping their back to me, stalking in what is a demented lit environment, speaking to the demon-possessed. All right, a line of demons in front of me, a line of demons in the bathroom monitoring while the state engages in that demonic conduct in the bathroom. All right, with knowledge, by the way, when your panties are down and your genitalia is exposed. That's P.O.C. That's Ontario Over Family Community Library. The Ontario Over Family Community Library is a sex offender acting on behalf of the government, the state of California. That is a sex offender. That's P.O.C. All right, you have what is the entity, which is the state, that is stalking in the bathroom currently as of 6:17 p.m., maintaining presence, patrolling in and out, and what is that ongoing environment? And this is nothing but the government that's engaged in surveillance and stalking inside of the bathroom. And I just want to document that. That's state facilitating venue, Ontario Over Family Community Library. And again, it's not just inside that they are stalking. This is the entity that is going to that obsessive and perverted, predatory, and demented level of stalking inside of a bathroom. But they're engaged in ongoing surveillance, tracking every step that I take outside of the bathroom as well, and outside of the entrance. Remember, the bathroom is at the front part of the library. So you have what is ongoing monitoring all around. I just want to document the people to be prosecuted for sexual violence, stalking inside of the bathroom at Ontario Over Family Community Library. It's 6:19 p.m., P.O.C. All right, I want to document what is terrorism, a specific actor, third party. Well, this would be facilitation as well, because this is a third party that's engaged in surveillance on behalf of the state as an employee inside of the venue in the state's environment. And so you have what is form for what is a demon that is pacing in directed light. Okay, and doing so by stalking books. It's the creation of ongoing noise, which demons use to stalk with audible activity while you are walking back and forth and back and forth. That is called crossing path repeatedly. And Angelica is doing that in directed light while in relevant position, and also while the state is amplifying impossible audible activity, including the sound of the train at 6:49 p.m. as I document her presence. That is going to be prosecution of Union Pacific. This is impossible audible activity. I'm sitting on that same wall that is the side of the library that is facing the College of Law, University of Laverne. And the state is engaging in its ongoing pattern of conduct, and the state, as it engages in its pattern of conduct of stalking with audible activity, amplifying audible activity, the state treats every venue as though the walls are made out of paper. And so you have what is amplified audible activity with simultaneity to my operation of my communication device, okay? It's the demonic behavioral pattern, amplification, state action, and I'm also in what is a facilitating venue in directed light. And you have what is relevant positioning and audible activity by Miss Angelica, a demon-possessed stalker, who is monitoring with the state. There is no form for these demons who are monitoring with the government inside of any venue. The state is sounding audible activity of what is traffic, which you will also never hear inside of the library. In addition is to the sound of commercial airline planes, which I have shown you in a wealth of documentation, video documentation and images as the state hovers over the 280 North Limit Apartments. And so it is so the state is stalking by commercial airline planes. It is a concession, first of all, that the state is stalking by commercial airline planes because you are necessarily hovering in order to even hear that. But the ordinary conduct is such that the state is not stalking. So how would you be able to hear commercial airline planes? And coming from the Ontario airport is no form for that. But we understand, I've documented what is a P.O.C, and I'm speaking to what is, under all circumstances, audible activity in directed light while this third party is pacing. That's a demon that is crossing path repeatedly. So I just want to document that. And this is inside of the same venue. I showed you what is the light activity while I am inside of this venue, and you have demons of all ages that are in an environment conducive to what is monitoring with communication devices. And this is why you have what is double shadows. They're enlarged shadows. You can see the furniture as I'm showing you, and it is absolutely a demented environment, and it's speaking to the demented actors that surround me, engaging in vicarious criminal activity on behalf of the government inside of what is a venue. Okay, it is currently 6:52 p.m. That is P.O.C.
So much degradation.
Upland Police 1560984 at the Upland High School at Foothill Boulevard, and this is, I want to say, San Antonio. This is a light activity that they're creating and sounding their sirens while they're stationary on the street. It is the same exact P.O.C, and they are monitoring with the people. The state third party is 8T87597, and it's currently 7:09 p.m. 8UGK771. That is Upland Police that are in directed light. I want to be clear. Third parties are monitoring with the government, and you are talking about the directed light and the ongoing environment, which is superseding any form that the police are relying on for use of their vehicle lights and presence and use of their sirens. Let me be clear. They are loitering in relevant position while we were driving north of San Antonio and using their police lights. This is the same demons that I've shown you in directed light at the Vaughn's on Foothill and Vaughn's on Foothill and Euclid, and there is no form. And you have what is heavy Upland Police presence at that Upland High School. It's directed light during the day under the fake sun, and it's directed light right now while we are on San Antonio driving by. All right, monitoring with the third parties that surround. It's 7:10 p.m. And that is one of the license plates, but that's the Upland Police Department, period, engaging in P.O.C., and they are at the venue of what is the Upland High School at 7:10 P.O.C. I'm currently at Reading Way and Foothill Boulevard. 6RKX916. Eight FLY 282. Eight WDB 169. 8D CP 490. So essentially what the Upland Police are doing, they're creating light activity. All right. And that's the demonic pattern of stalking with light in the path. Those are demons that are bearing law enforcement uniforms. All right. It is currently 7:12 p.m. Here's another analytical note. Let me get these first. 7KYS923. CRJ5474, Arizona. Passing San Antonio Avenue and Foothill Boulevard again. This is formed for crossing path with the police again. All right. This is monitoring that I'm subject to. So let me be clear. Where the police are loitering, you're going to remember this is the same location I'm also at during the day, where the state's fake sun is directly over my head. That's where the Prime Wash Express is. Let me be clear. It is P.O.C. And that is criminal activity, as I'm documenting that engagement in the criminal elements by the Upland Police Department. And what I'm showing you and documenting since I've been in Upland, which was on November 25th, 2021. That was Thanksgiving, where the state's fake sun was directly over my head, and I'm capturing those demons under that fake sun while they're molesting with that which is not sunlight, the same directed light that I'm showing you moving across my person and on the Shiro's liquor in the shade, but then it's not on that on that wall while I'm not over there. It's over where I am, speaking to the stalking conduct of the people of the state, and that's also what the fake sun is revealing, the stalking conduct of the people of the state, and that's what Upland Police are doing, and that's the same venue. I want to be clear, the pattern of conduct is ceaselessly underway. And that's where they are loitering in relevant position using those police vehicles for criminal activity. All right. Demons engaging in federal stalking in concert with the people of the state. 7:13 p.m. License 8LHZ696 at the Taco Bell that is across the street from the Starbucks that's within the Mulberry Plaza. This is P.O.C. All right, it is currently 8:33 p.m. and I want to document what is a third-party facilitating venue, 630 North Fern Avenue. This is the people of the state. This is the venue belonging to the people of the state. And it is a facilitating venue, and the state is projecting what is flashing light inside of the vehicle. This is ongoing with that ongoing pattern of what is moving directed light throughout the vehicle while the people of the state cross path driving by. All right, so this is multiple methods of aiming what is directed light, and this is documentation of the people of the state engaging in that terrorism, and this is a facilitating venue you're talking about. 630 North Fern is where they are creating light activity, okay? That's the ongoing environment where they are creating, facilitating light activity, and the state is, in addition to that light activity, also flashing light, maintaining stationary flashing light inside of the car. Okay. And then the state is also engaging in the ongoing pattern of moving directed light inside of the vehicle while the demon possessed, that are the people of the state, are stalking, driving by, and the state is moving directed light inside of the car. It's the exact same pattern of conduct as I am documenting it at any other location. If you've been paying attention to my documentation, what I published today with regard to May 18th, May 19th, and May 20th, you're going to look at what is the pattern of conduct as it's underway while I'm inside of a hotel room. That is Economy Inn, located at 2301 South Euclid Avenue. And it is the identical behavioral pattern. What you are looking at is the directed light that the state is maintaining in that environment where I am, where the fake sun is directly over that room at Economy Inn, where at that time I was in room 227. And you're looking at what is stalking with the fake sun that remains on that property. Okay. And then as I leave from the property, the state is keeping it over my head as I documented substantial video documentation. And also that is what coexists with what the state is doing to date. All right. The state engages in stalking with a fake sun, and that coexists with what is directed light, not sunlight. And the directed light is a pattern. It is the identification of a venue. It's the identification of what is a stalker. Okay. And it is terrorism by the government that is stalking and monitoring. And it is serving a criminal purpose of monitoring with communication devices on a corporate basis in concert with the people of the state who are demon-possessed stalkers. In other words, obsessive, all right, hovering, paranoid level, absolutely demented stalkers, all right? And this is the strip down of that demented entity, the people of the state, and revealing what is the absence of any normalcy in the state of California. This is demonic activity in the state of California, and these are psychopaths that are violent sex offenders, as you understand their pattern of conduct. They are psychopaths who are stalking, as you understand that pattern of conduct. They are engaging in what is terrorism, as you understand that pattern of conduct in their condition, that is demon possession. And that is what this flashing light is speaking to. It's demonic, and it is also terrorism. I'm documenting that. This is ongoing while I'm remaining inside of the vehicle. Let me be clear with regard to the prosecution of the people. of that group. That includes the third party Tracy Banks. Let me be clear. She is not ignorant. She is monitoring. She is a part of the same sexual violence and terrorizing conduct that I am subject to. Driving me to venues where the state is flying over my head in a helicopter. Driving me to venues where the state is stalking with a fake sun while I'm inside and I'm being molested with that which is not sunlight. She is engaged in the system, cooperating with it, facilitating it, aware of it, not ignorant of it, and indeed presenting me into that harm. Okay. So I want to be clear. This is a psychopath who is monitoring now. Okay, Woodside Senior Apartments is across the street. She's monitoring, aware of every syllable that I'm stating, and in concert with the demon-possessed agency, the Ontario Police. Understand those demons wearing those police uniforms are listening right now. All right, and you're talking about, I want to make sure that you are cognizant of the totality of what I'm prosecuting and understand the totality of that system that's underway. Just because I'm not mentioning a specific name, understand as I have identified the P.O.C, as I have identified the vicarious aspect of that P.O.C, what I am prosecuting, and understand, because I am mindful of it, and so I want to make sure that I bring it to your mind when I'm describing what the entity is doing. Tracy Banks, who identifies herself, would like to call herself a mother, is part of that, is presenting that, is facilitating that, indeed keeps me in the vehicle at that location for that criminal and terrorizing purpose. Okay, she is the same part of that demonic entity that is molesting and stalking and terrorizing with directed light. She's part of it. She's part of it. She is in every way yielding me toward that. Okay, this is not a mother. Let me be clear. Like I said, any animal can engage in the reproductive act, but let me be clear, not even dogs turn on their own kind. These are demons, and Tracy Jenkins is of that same demonic entity. And this is documentation of what is the people engaging in stalking at nightfall. This is 24-hour stalking by a government, doing it in concert with the people of the state. And so maintaining flashing light inside of the car. This is light that is not going to occur from Christmas lights. This is projected flashing light. It is rich concentrated. A direct light is the exact same pattern of conduct. And 630 North Fern is creating light activity, and it is no form for the state stalking activity and maintaining this flashing light inside of the vehicle and doing so on the vehicles that surround as well. This is flashing directed light. This is a documentation of that. That is a method of terrorism. It is a method of ongoing. It's an identification of the stalker where it is occurring in the ongoing environment. I've showed you my shadows that are multiple shadows while I'm outside. This is the exact same entity engaged in that P.O.C. And it is 8:38 p.m. And so I just want to break all that down. And it is the exact same template. This is why I'm showing you what is the directed light while I'm publishing the documentation from May of 2021. It is the same exact directed light that the state is aiming inside of that hotel room. The state is keeping a fake sun over that hotel room. Literally, not just over the property. The state kept that fake sun over my room, over my head. Okay, this is the pattern. While the state is stalking by law enforcement, fire department, ambulance, and stalking vicariously through the people of the state, it is the exact same P.O.C. And this demonic entity, the state of California, a very violent sex offender that's going to be prosecuted as such. This is never contemplated before because it is the revealing of what is a government that is a violent sex offender, a sex offender of unprecedented. A sex offender that is one that is unprecedented, never contemplated by federal legislation, okay? It does not get any more sexual violent when you are engaging in that corporate invasion of privacy, engaging in what this is, the demonic elements of monitoring with knowledge of the fact that you are physically indisposed, your genitalia is exposed, when you're not even holding on to a communication device. It is engaging in that criminal system in violation of Title 18, but this demonic system in operation in the state of California by the government and by the people of the state is sexually violent, predatory. It is sexually motivated and perverted, and it is also that which is entirely demented and designed to terrorize an American citizen, and kidnapping is the pattern of conduct. I am documenting for prosecution in order for that targeted individual, any ordinary targeted individual by the government. This is what the government is doing. It's monitoring American citizens, and it is all of those things. It is sexual violence. It is terrorism as the government is practicing satanic activity, and that is what is represented by maintaining flashing light where you're stalking, doing so in incredible manners with helicopters and airplanes, and by law enforcement and by the people of the state, demon-possessed individuals who are maintaining presence 24 hours a day, all right, coming out of the blue because they are stalking around in dark corners and standing around, maintaining an absolute focus on where you are, what you are doing as you are doing it. And by the way, that ongoing light activity is the identification of that perpetual presence on behalf of that government. All right. It is identification of a demon-possessed stalker, terrorism, and one who is stalking you on behalf of a government, terrorism. All right. And contributing to what is a demonic environment, terrorism. It's 8:41 p.m. and this is P.O.C. at Third Party Facilitating Venue 630 North Fern. Remember that because that is going to be public information. I'm going to prosecute them, and if they're not American citizens, I happily shall deport them out of this country, engaging in what is stalking while they are living there. They're not there under their First Amendment rights. You don't have any First Amendment rights to stalk and terrorize on behalf of a government that is monitoring. You don't have any right to facilitate that, and that's exactly what is ongoing, and that is why the state is stalking by helicopter and by commercial airline planes. That is why the state is maintaining directed light while the demon-possessed actors drive by. That is called crossing path. None of the people of the state are exercising any First Amendment rights, and that's going to the prosecution. 630 North Fern is merely an example. You're talking about the corporate prosecution of the people of the state who are a demon-possessed sex offending group stalker on behalf of the government. That is the state of California. And that is the POC.